So that is Padathilputhakattil House from Irnyalakuda. It is a 5,000 square feet 4-bedroom house. So let's hear the comments. Arun, moving on to the exterior landscape, form and character.
See, from the first look, what we understand is it's not a house that was built together. Probably it had an original house and then it was added on. The sloped area, from what I understand, is the old house, and the flat roofed one on the side is the new house. And they have tried to connect these together. Probably the ancestral home was expanded into the new home of the new family. So this is what must have happened. And the ancestral home has got a very dated character of a tall roof, slender columns in front, which they have continued. So this was kept as it is, and then the new house was added. But the new house doesn't have any slope roof or anything to support the old house. So this, I feel, is a clash, and definitely should have tried a slope roof on the new part also. They have enough land. From what we see, they have enough land, and it's not utilized to the right extent. Landscape is almost nil, apart from the little grass and the walkway leading to a water body, a barrel water body in the center. Traditional uruli, which we call. But other than that, there is nothing dominant for landscape. So I think the landscape and the building don't connect to each other. New building and the old building don't connect to each other. They are just close to each other.
Okay. And Anna, your inputs?
Clearly there is the mix of the old and the new, and they've tried to integrate both by painting the whole thing in the same color. Landscape, not much. Just right now we are just impressed by the size and the big plot it's sitting.
Now moving on to the interior, flooring and kitchen.
The interiors, there is a drastic difference between the old and new house. I like the old house, to be frank, because it has retained the original character of the house. You have wooden furniture. There's a very old cot which has been reused, and they have kind of kept this area like a museum, where they have the old furnitures like storage units, chairs, sitting spaces, everything is old. So they have kept that as such and added some furniture in the form of cane. Cane is not exactly a very traditional furniture for us, though we have cane chairs, but it's not used as a chair as such. But it does add on to the character of that one. Now when you move on to the new house, it's totally different. It's like two corners of the world. And the new house stands out like anything without imbibing anything from the heritage it has in the old house. And the new house, they have tried to keep it very modern and upbeat. The flooring is totally different. The old house has got wooden flooring, which is an interesting thing. And then this new part has got vitrified tile flooring. And the courtyard, I think it's under-treated. The courtyard should have been an interesting space, because when you open out from the old space into the new building, this could have been like a welcome space. They could have connected it together with some kind of character that is continuing from the old house. When you move on to the rooms have bright colors which are not there in any part of the old house. So, and each room is different from the other. And one of them you see wooden bed, the next one you see painted bed, and they have done every room separately. And then when you come to the kitchen is again very bright. Just like the bedrooms, they have gone for bright green and white combination in the kitchen too. So altogether the interiors stand jarringly opposite to each other. And about the staircase even, they've got stainless steel handrails and then glass on the side, which should have been wood.
And Anna, your opinion?
Like he said, the old building looks more beautiful. It is of a bigger height, and then I'm sure it must be cooler there. I love that old. Earlier in our living rooms, there used to be, whenever there is an elder person, there would be a bed in the living room. That has disappeared. It looks very nice. The chair, it's like bringing in a lot of memories. It's very good. Courtyard, you see, suddenly again, very modern, black and white, big contrast. Then there's a stair railings happening. That's steel. Then you have clouds painted on the roof. Then you have Gothic type windows. In fact, you would see a lot of international styles happening there. The space it's very bright. There's a lot of windows. a lot of light coming into that area. Dining room is practical. They have a small buffet table which is very useful when we have a lot of members. You can put more dishes on your buffet table. But when you have a modern kitchen, so on the whole the new part of the house is very loud.
Now Arun, what about the color, decor and lighting?
See, again, for this I would split the house into two. The one before and the one after. Okay. The one before, I think the old house is decently done, except for a little unwanted charibadi detailing in the outside, which they could have gotten rid of. Instead, they could have gone for a plain silk kind of seating, which would have looked more convincing. Now, I don't think this is wood. This probably is done in the ferro cement thing. It's not the real wood, and you're trying to force in something. So instead, if there was some kind of bench, it should have added to the space quality in the veranda. The old house, the interiors are very decently done. Means they have taken in whatever they got from the old house, and they've probably added some furniture, and it kind of joins with the whole ambience, and it's looking good, decently done. Lighting, there is nothing so much to say. But it's just basic lighting. But I think that is enough for such a house because it's got a lot of windows all around, and they have not gone for very dark curtains. It's like sheer curtains which bring in light, so it's decent.
Anna, your remarks on that?
The bedrooms, if you notice, each bedroom will be of a different color. Okay, there is a blue wall, and then they've kept a cabinet that's blue again. Okay, you want to make it look nice. If they had painted it white, it would have, that contrast would have helped them. In the living room, they've gone for black and white combination. There are two ends of that color spectrum. So the contrast is very high. So you have to do it in a very subtle, otherwise your eye gets tired when it's of too much of contrast. They've gone for big tiles. And they've tried to put the old furniture just here and there. So interior definitely requires more thought.
Now coming to the overall ambience.
Ambience is very, very average. I would say the old house still gets all the points. The new house is way behind, and it has got to live up to the other one's expectations. On an average, if you consider both together, you cannot weigh them individually because it's one house. But I would love to do that. Otherwise, it's not going to reach anywhere.
And Anna?
What I feel is this is some sort of a Taravada, and if that is a Taravada, I'm sure a lot of people are coming here. So for that, the dining room is small. If the dining room was bigger and if it could open into that living room, it would have been more useful. And then from there, the garden, that would have been a good, they still can do it. There is a lot of land available to them. So on the whole, it is an okay house.
So Arun, how much would you like to give for the exterior landscape, form and character?
See, the exterior again is a big mix. The old house still stands very strong over the new one. You cannot call it well done. They were just kept the functions going and probably extended into the new area to support the new family. So I would give only 17.
Okay, and Anna?
I've also given 17 because of this very obvious clash of styles.
Coming to the interior flooring and kitchen.
Interiors are drastically at poles apart for the new and the old house. But there is so much difference that you automatically tend to think in those terms. So I think on an average, I would give 16 on 20.
Anna? For the fact that they've tried out so many things, because a lot of effort and money would have gone, I've given them 17, but it's not, the colors and the materials and everything are not actually in the right direction. They need to improve on.
And what about the color, decor and lighting?
Very basic use of color and decor. I'm giving 16 out of 25.
Anna, your input?
I've also given 16. I wouldn't say the colors are basic, it's very loud. Except for that common areas, they've kept it in shades of white and blue and green. But they definitely need to tone it down. So 16 is my mark.
And coming to the overall ambience.
General ambience I would mark at 16.
Okay. Anna?
I've also given in 16 because planning wise I feel if you are in that old part, you're totally disconnected from this house.
Padathilputhakattil from Irnyalakuda secures 66 from Anna and 65 from Arun. And from public 32. And it makes a total of 163 out of 250. So I hope all of you enjoyed our show. We'll catch you in our next episode.